Hi guys, it is the 1st of September. How it's the 1st of September, I don't know. Kids are back to school next week, which is good. I have not done a huge amount of stitching this week. I didn't stitch at all at the weekend. There was 2 or 3 days where I didn't stitch. Saturday we were out at the Pink Floyd exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, and then out for dinner. We got back at maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night. Actually, no, we didn't. We got back after midnight. I was out all day, didn't do any stitching. The next day, I was out in the garden. We have a seat with a top half arbour sort of thing, and there was a big climbing rose over it. Now the ground below it was sort of sectioned off with wooden little fence, like a little picket thing, and it's got slate underneath the seat. The little fence was rotten and falling apart, and the slate, because the rose drops leaves, petals, rose hips, whatever, it was just full of weeds because of course everything had composted down, and made a nice home for any seed that wanted to land there. So I've spent the last 3 weeks cleaning the slate, like actually individually going through every piece of slate by hand and separating it out from the compost and leaves and whatever else was in there. God, it's taking me such a long time. I've probably put in about 30 hours on that. So just sitting on the ground for a couple of hours at a time, sorting through slate and putting it in a bag, and then I'm putting in another little fence job, just a roll of it's sort of half log things, but quite small, and obviously pegs to hold it at the corners and stuff. So I've done a lot of hammering and gardening, and I've reseeded the grass. So that's what I did on Sunday and most of Monday actually. Guy flew to Vienna on Monday evening, and I've done a bit more gardening, but it's been raining the last 2 days. It's nice today. So that was my week. Stitching wise, if you remember last Friday, Finish It Friday, I was doing around the world in 80 stitches, and this is how far I got. So I've got this top tulip done apart from the metallic. There's metallic that goes in here and in another couple of places. There's not a huge amount, and I'm using DMC metallic for this, and to be honest I couldn't lay my hand on it, so I just thought I'll do it once I've finished the other one. And I got a lot of the outline done for that as well. I'm having a problem with this. I started stitching it in hand because I used to stitch in hand, and then I discovered Q-snaps. Now I have beaded one section, just this one here, and it's actually, there's quite a lot of beads in there. Now I'm running into the issue that I'm crushing the beads on the Q-snap, so I cannot put the Q-snap anywhere near that, and I can't then sort of get into here. It's quite difficult, and to keep moving things around all the time. I'm almost tempted to take the beads back off just to make it easier for myself, but we'll see. So again, it's Finish It Friday. I'm going to continue with this today. I'm going to keep going on Friday until I get this whole section done. There's another piece of hard hanger, there's another piece of Mirabilian star stitch, bane of my life, and just this, you know, back stitch and so on. It's similar on the other side. So that's my task for today. Don't know how much I'll get done. Usually I have a Friday night to myself, but Guy flew home last night. He got back at 10:30. His flight was delayed actually from Vienna by about an hour. So he is around today, although he's going to take the car in for its MOT. So he's not around at this minute, but he's home until I think it's Tuesday now. And it's his birthday tomorrow. So I've actually got quite a lot to do. I need to go pick up some prescriptions. I need to go to the post office. And I need to make a cake. So I need to go and get the ingredients for the cake and then make a cake. So I don't know how much I'm going to get done on that. But I will just keep going on Friday until it's finished. I was actually quite enjoying stitching it. I think, as I said last week, it's a difficult one to get your head into. It takes a bit. Not that the pattern's complicated, or not that the pattern's badly written, but it's quite complex. It's no, you've got to check what each stitch is and what colour each stitch is, and there's a lot of negative space in it, so it's counting between things, and sometimes you get, or sometimes I get off a bit. So, and a lot of changing colours, so you know, 3 stitches of this and then whatever. It's also quite difficult to anchor threads sometimes, just because they tend to be out in the middle of nowhere, and it's not necessarily a cross stitch where you can do a pin stitch. It's back stitching, or it's eyelets. It's something else. So this week has been Mirabilia week. I didn't pick it up on the Saturday, and I didn't pick it up on the Sunday. I think it was Monday or Tuesday before I started. I have 3 Mirabilias, which are active whips at the moment. I have red, I have damask roses, and I have autumn queen. And I didn't know, I couldn't decide which one to stitch. So I asked my friend Tanya, hi Tanya, and she said damask roses because she hadn't ever seen it before. So that's what I've been working on. So I had this bit, so I did this, and there's a mistake there, and I need to remember that there's a mistake there. I can fudge it, but I need to remember that I need to fudge it, because otherwise it's all going to go horribly wrong. And I did this part of the column. I started doing the column in like 10 up, just because it is straight up, and it's easier for me to do that. It's easier for me to keep my place because I don't mark my charts. I love the colours in this. I love that chartreuse, mustardy yellow, and that teal. They're so nice together. But I didn't get much done. I probably got like 1,500 stitches in. I know it doesn't look like it, but that is, I did sort of roughly count, and that's about what that is. Her dress goes along and sort of down, and then up and up and up and up and up. You think you're doing really well, and then you open out the pattern and see how much you've got to go. Actually, I'll show you the back of the pattern, just to show you what size it is. It is it's the first Mirabilia, so it's MT01, and it is all on one sheet, but that is the size of the sheet. Quite often Mirabilias are on 2 sides, but there we go. today, as I said, I'm going to continue with Around the World in 80 Stitches and try and get some of that done. Or at least pick it up and do something, maybe just finish that border. And I don't know how much I'm going to get done over the weekend, just because Guy's here and I've got gardening and stuff to do. So yes, next week from tomorrow is other week, so I can work on either Blackwork's Journey Save the Stitches, Around the World in 80 Stitches, maybe I'll just keep going, Giant Harry Potter, or Magical Creatures Calendar. Those are my choices, and I do not know which one I'm going to pick up. It may be that I do multiple. I've not decided. I may ask Tanya again to pick something, and even if I do it for a day and put it away and pick something else, I'm still getting progress. So none of these things are calling to me, but sometimes, you know, I mean, that was not calling to me, but I picked it up and I go quite into it. So we shall see. Other than that, I had a lot of patterns come in. And I'm gonna do a separate video for that. I'm gonna go through my Mirabilia chart stash, and I'm going to go through my sort of sampler chart stash as well. I don't know whether I'll do them in two separate videos or whether I'll do them all in one. So-and-so in the UK were having a bank holiday sale. I don't tend to use so-and-so very much because I find their new website very difficult to navigate. I prefer the old one, and I've had a couple of issues in the past where the customer service has been a bit off, shall we say. I'm not saying they're a bad company by any means. I just find that recently they've changed hands and it's gotten a bit weird. But yes, anyway, they were having a sale. I can't remember what I went on there for. I quite often use it just to check if they've got a certain pattern, because sometimes you can't get them elsewhere. Or I was checking the prices, some thread or something, and I found chatelaine patterns, paper patterns, for £3, £4, £5 each. So I got 6 chatelaine charts for about 30 quid, which, you know, is great. I'm pretty pleased with myself. I usually use the PDFs for chatelaines because they're easier. But these are actually quite small designs. I only got one large, or two large ones rather. So, and honestly, they cost 5 quid. So if I have to buy the PDF, then it's not the end of the world. But I will show those when I go through my patterns. But right now I need to go because I've got other stuff to do. Kids are back to school on Wednesday, so that's interesting. It's a bit of a busy week, so I'll see how much I get done. And I now need to go make a cake, so enjoy your stitching week. Thank you to everybody who commented. Thank you to everybody who said that they liked the Biscornu. I'm also Pink Stitcher on Instagram, and I post there quite regularly if you're at all curious. So yes, I shall go and enjoy your time.